Hello there, parents and carers of Year 1 children. Due to the unusual circumstances this year, we continue to maintain a careful approach and are minimising parent meetings as much as possible. We are also aware that not all parents can make these meetings, so that is why we have created this video for your information. Hopefully it helps. So, welcome. Just to introduce ourselves, just in case you don't know us already, my name is Miss Davies. I'm the Year Group Leader for Year 1. I also teach Class 1D. We also have Miss Griffiths teaching Class 1G, Mrs Bly and Miss McDonough teaching 1BM, although Mrs Bly does teach my class on a Wednesday, so that's why you may see her lining up with my children then, and Miss Shaquille teaches Class 1S. We also have wonderful teaching assistants as well who are with us in class for the majority of the day. So start and end of the day procedure. So children line up at 8:55 in the blue gated area just near the Lilac Gardens entrance to the school. Teachers will collect in the morning. Please give any short messages to the teaching assistants at the gates once the children have lined up and they start making their way into the class. I do know we had a few teething issues at the start of the year. Hopefully they're starting to improve now and the children are really starting to settle. We haven't got as many tears now as what we did. So let's hope that continues. Late pupils, any children that are late will come through the late door and they were picked up by the school attendance officer who will see them to class. School day finishes at 3:05 for Year 1 children. Please inform the office or your child's class teacher or the teaching assistants at the gate in the morning if somebody different is going to pick up your child. If a child is left and it's gone 3:15, we will escort your child round to the main office where you'll be able to pick up from there. So, transition reception to Year 1. Your child is still very young and we recognise that not all children are ready for a more formal approach to learning by the time they begin Year 1. At the start of Year 1, we continue with an EYFS approach to learning. The children will have opportunities to access the outdoor and shared areas whilst learning through play. An EYFS approach helps support children who did not meet the early learning goals in reception and allows them to continue working towards achieving this milestone. Children that have achieved the early learning goal and who are ready to work within the national curriculum will be challenged. Guided groups will take place in all subjects with either a teacher or teaching assistant. And planning is matched to meet the needs of all children. Throughout the autumn term, we gradually introduce more works to work at the same time before we begin a more formal approach to learning for everybody in order to prepare children for Year 2. The length of this transition period can vary and depends on the year group. We tend to play it by ear and it is tailored to suit the children's needs. So we're totally led by the children and when we feel that they are ready for that formal approach. Here's some of the subjects that we will teach this year. Some of them are obviously different and will be new to the children. And here are some of the topics that we teach as well. So you can have a little glance over those. You can also have a little look at our school website where you'll be able to find our spiral curriculum and the different topics and objectives that are covered in each year group and how it progresses throughout the school. So just to highlight a few things that we're doing. So at the moment in geography, we are looking at our local area, looking at countries of the UK and where our school is based. In PE, gymnastics at the moment, that's being taught by an outdoor agency. The children are really enjoying that. Science, this half term we're looking at seasons and seasonal change. And in computing, Mr. Mir will be introducing the children to desktop computers and practicing their mice skills and keyboard skills. Here's just an example of a timetable. As you can see, it's very, very full on and jam-packed right from 8:55 all the way to 3:05. So that's why in the mornings we try to make a prompt start as quick as possible. All the children have fruit and milk in the morning if your child is signed up for milk, and we have 3 assemblies throughout the week, 1 a PSHE focused assembly and 1 singing assembly, and on a Friday we have our celebration golden assembly. I know that some of your children have already bought home certificates and I know they're very happy about that, so well done. PE days. So, Class 1D are on a Monday and Wednesday, Class 1G Monday and Friday. 1 BM Monday and Wednesday, and 1S Wednesday and Friday. Earrings should not be worn on PE days. We're no longer able to take your child's earrings out or tape them up. If your child is wearing earrings, they will not be able to take part in the PE lesson. They'll have to take part in the PE lesson in another way without doing that physical activity. Please ensure that your child has PE kits brought in. I know that recently lots of you have been sending PE kits in as well, which is brilliant. Just make sure that as the weather gets colder, children have got sort of tracksuit bottoms or a tracksuit top, as we will try to get outside when it's not raining, but obviously it might be a little bit chilly some days. And I cannot stress this enough, please label your child's clothes. I know that in my class, and I will be sending a letter out about this, I've got a whole PE kit in my box and there's not a trace of a name on the bag, any of the clothes, the shoes. So please, it is really important. With 120 children in the year group and over 800 children in the school, if things get lost without names, it does make it almost impossible that we will ever find it again. So please label your clothes. And again, please ensure all clothes are labelled. At the end of the term, there's a vast amount of lost property. And we've started collating a box of lots of jumpers that haven't got names on, so we'll try to bring that out every now and then when the weather's good for you to have a little look through. We're encouraging the children to be independent and look after their clothes, making sure that they put their jumpers in their tray once they've if they don't want to wear it, making sure they collect it at the end of playtime if they take it off. And we are encouraging that independence, so we're trying to encourage them to remember their things at the end of the day. So do bear with us, and I'm sure they'll get used to it. Reading diaries. Books are changed daily if the diary has been signed. Over time, we will encourage the children to change their own reading book. Each time you read with your child, please enter your initials or make a small comment in their reading diary. At Rush Green Primary, parents are expected to read with their child every night. Not hours, just 10 to 15 minutes. And we know that children who read at home every night make better progress than those that don't. Some of you may have put notes in reading diaries that you may have already had the book home already. That doesn't matter, there's always different things to pick up when reading the text. Making sure that you're asking questions as well. Making sure that you're talking about word meanings, they're really important skills too. So even though your child might have read it already and have flown through it, perhaps look at a different element of the text. As I said, word meanings and comprehension. If you're struggling with questions that you can ask, just look at the bookmark that's stuck into your child's reading diary, and you will be able to see some examples of questions. If you're still struggling, just chat to your child's class teacher and they can send you home sort of a list of questions that you might find beneficial to have at home. Obviously, we're working on comprehension at school during guided reading sessions as well. So we have a guided reading session every week and an individual reading session as well. That's read by either teacher or teacher. So homework in Year 1 will be handed out every Friday. It will be a maths focus or a literacy piece. Sometimes we might send home some foundation subjects as well. So I know that recently, the first week, the children had some geography to do. The children are expected to complete their given homework and return it to the teacher by the following Wednesday. We will then mark it and then send it home on the Friday. If any help or support is required with the homework, please do not hesitate to see the class teacher. We're here to help at all times. We have different ways of supporting the children with their spelling, and there'll be more information to follow on this. You'll notice that we've given folders and we've moved away from Google Classroom. We are still going to send home a piece of homework for the children to complete on Google Classroom, but we find that during these early years, it's so important that the children are practicing those basic skills. We want them to be writing with a pencil rather than typing. So that's why that we have moved away from that. But we're still going to keep the children familiar with Google Classroom should we ever have to use it again, although hopefully we won't have to. So that's homework. Stay on green. So I know that you'll be familiar with reception, but just to go over it and just to get yourself familiar with it again. So green behaviour is expected at all times. So all children start the day on green. They then work their way up to bronze, silver and gold, and different behaviours relate to each different colour as well. And this is displayed in all the children's classrooms. Yellow and red behaviour is an internal exclusion. Alternative lunch is also known as the child misses their following day's lunchtime to reflect on their behaviour. It's not the whole lunchtime. They will still have their lunch and they will have some time to be outside as well. That's important. That they spend that time reflecting upon their behaviour and how they're going to improve it. And then you will have a meeting with you to let you know that an internal exclusion has to happen. And any excessive yellow-red behaviour could result in an external exclusion. So, and that's why we let you know if it ever happens. More information on our behaviour policy can be found on the school website. Again, if you've got any questions about this, don't hesitate to ask. And that is it from me. I hope that's helped and I hope that's answered some questions that you might have. But as always, if you've got any concerns, any questions, drop the office an email and we can get back to you via telephone. Also catch us at the end of the day. That's generally easier than at the morning time because we are trying to get the children in promptly. But obviously we are trying to